Hi, Lisa Marie Platsky here, President and CEO of Upside Thinking, and I'm here to share the 5 things that it takes to thrive and succeed as a powerful woman. Number one is to be able to have the courage to speak your own truth, even if you're the dissenting voice, even if it means that you're going to walk the path alone. I remember early on in my business, I attended a Chamber of Commerce meeting. I was a new Chamber of Commerce member, a new business owner, and there was something that came up in the meeting that had me concerned because I thought that it would affect a portion of the population that was not going to be at the meeting. And so I did something that ultimately was about giving voice to the voiceless. And that is that I approached 2 of my colleagues and said to them, hey, when this comes up on the agenda, would you please speak up? And just when I share what I'm going to share, just simply say, hey, that's a good idea. Hey, that's a good idea. That's it. You don't have to vote the way that I would vote. You don't have to agree with what I'd agree with what I'm saying. Simply just be able to give it the possibility of doing more of a judicious lens on what it is that we're voting on. That's number 1. Number two is having the courage to ask for help. Having the courage to ask for help. So most women struggle or have the fear of getting it 100% right, making no mistakes, not allowing anybody to see them make a mistake. Asking for help, I've learned that by asking for help, asking peers and colleagues and people who are smarter than I am in their own genius zones, that it's made such a difference in my business. It made a huge difference in my career in law enforcement. I used to joke around that in law enforcement, it's where I learned to expand my vocabulary to learn 3 new words, and those were I don't know. So that's number 2. Number three is having the courage to be honest. Having courage to be honest, really honest with what it is that you want and why it matters. And so every project that I work on, I run through that lens. What is it that I want? Why does it matter? So that the projects that I choose, the clients that I work with, are ones that are completely aligned with what it is that I want and what matters most to me. And then there's number 4. Number 4 is truly one of my favorites, and that is to be a strong and powerful woman, having the courage to be passionate about what you stand for, to be so passionate that you're committed and you're all in, while also remaining open to changing your mind. And so for me, in business, I did a lot of research early on my 7 pillars of leadership. And the first pillar is to start with a written plan. And I always thought, well, you have to have a plan. You've got to have things mapped out. You've got to know where you're going. And over time, I've learned that there is such a thing as the no plan. And that is to trust that whatever is in front of you, to take that avenue. And so for some people, it's really important for them to have a clearly mapped out plan, understanding every step of the way. And for other people, it's really important to have the no plan. For myself, divine guidance, tapping into divine wisdom and guidance is really a part of my plan. And that means that sometimes I go someplace that perhaps to other people doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then the final one, number 5. Number 5 is having the courage to understand the difference between power and between force. So true power requires no force whatsoever. And oftentimes, there's this misunderstanding that power historically has been associated with power over others. True power is actually about authenticity. It's about having the courage to fully show up as yourself. And I find that whenever I have the courage to be able to do that and to show up in a way that's fully authentic, in that kind of power, that's my own deep understanding of who I am, I build bridges and everybody in the world wins. So those are my 5 things to thrive as a powerful and successful woman today.